Hi everyone, this is Queen Cleopatra and you are watching the life of Queen Cleopatra. Yes, yesterday I talked to you guys about South Africa and God had given me a prophecy. You can check out that video, that was my first video. But today, actually yesterday I talked to God again and He made it very clear that South Africa has to choose the path of peace. And now I'm going to mention there was one leader of South Africa. It was our President Mandela. He was a pioneer of peace. And he knew exactly the power that peace had. And I can see in South Africa that, like I said, it's complete anarchy. And if the right path is not chosen, it will have very bad consequences for South Africa. So, we do not want this to escalate because I'm in Namibia. I do not want that problem coming over here. And beside that, it will have dire problems which will be created in the world, because of anything that happens in South Africa. Obviously, this is a international, point for all countries. There's many interests from different countries there. The West has an interest there. And we know all of these. You can go and research all the interest that is there. But my point is that South Africa needs to now find a solution which is godly based. Because if God is not invited in here, all hell will break loose. And nobody wants chaos. So this is what God has told me. Remove a President Ramaphosa. Because I can see that President Ramaphosa has only his self-interest at heart and God will deal with him. He is not doing anything. I hear about this $500 million that he said was stolen in his farm and these type of things. These are all mafia ways. And frankly, I'm tired of this mafia presidents. This is not a president. You are not a president. A president is a leader. A leader is the anointed of God. You have to come back to that. Because all we see is corrupt leaders. And this is what has brought this problem in South Africa is the fact that President Ramaphosa is not acting like a president. He's acting like a mafia. And frankly, this will be addressed. Really, I am so tired of it. And the other thing, President Ramaphosa, I have a personal experience with you because also my parents were teachers and the money of that group, CPR, SM, something like that, it never got to them. My mother died last year and she never got that money because you took it, your government. This is why South Africa looks the way that it looks because it is just taking money. Just taking money. We see that in a lot of the governments in Africa, and this will be addressed. I will address it. I will address it because you are a president, you have a position. If you cannot stand in your position, get out. And this is now my message to all African leadership. If you cannot stand in your position, and this is what God has told me, if you cannot stand in your position as an African leader, which is responsible for his people, he will remove you. I will remove you. I will remove you and I have that power. I will use my staff and I will remove you. Let me just check where is my stuff. Don't call my stuff. Thank you. So I will remove you. And here I have my stuff. And this is what God has said. There is a video that I sent this morning about our President Nelson Mandela, which is a pioneer. It's a man very close to my heart. I respected him too much as a leader because it's a while now that I've been in politics, and I always thought that he was an incredible leader. And this is the story of President Nelson Mandela. He was 28 years imprisoned on Robben Island, and in that video he talks about all the things they went through. That the regime of apartheid, they did not treat them very well. We know everything that they've done. We've seen the videos. But my point here is not to ignite the fire of apartheid. Because look at the economic situation we are in. In the time of apartheid, we were not in the same economical situation. So clearly, we cannot create another chaos. It is already chaos. So now we have to keep our mind. And I want to speak to this xenophobic leaders, Jacinta and the other guy. I do not know you personally, but God has told me to specifically speak to Jacinta, who's the one in the front of this March protests. God is warning you, my dear. He's warning you because what you are doing now is eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, that type of preaching. And you do not look at the economical situation the country is in, the world is in. There's already chaos. So the great leader, if you want to be a good leader, if you want to be a great leader, like Nelson Mandela, you will now keep mind and look at what will take the country further, because what you people are doing now is you are destroying the infrastructure of the country further. There is not money to rebuild it because we do not know how the economical situation in South Africa is looking. Or maybe there is money, but it has to come to the right channels. But now if you break something down, you have to build it up. Are you going to be able to build it up? You have ignited this hate in the people. We understand the economical situation. We understand that your president is not doing what he's supposed to do. But the whole point is you now igniting hate and bringing about further division is not helping. Because if you look at Nelson Mandela, after he was put, and I want the whole of South Africa to listen to this, especially the leaders. When Nelson Mandela, after he was in jail for 28 years on Robben Island, he went through all of that. He had a strategic plan, a plan of peace. It does not mean if you choose peace that you are weak. If you choose peace, it means that you have thought it through. That means that you have a plan. Because what you're doing now, that is not a plan. First of all, you are isolating yourself from the other African countries because you are chasing after people in this horrific way. I saw yesterday a video where they beat one man so badly, the man had done nothing. That is not common courtesy to your neighbor, that is hate. It is plain hate and you will receive it back. Because if you visit, you must think you will go and visit another country. You will have to go to Kenya at some stage. You will also look for work. You will go to other countries, and what's already happening is other countries are now closing their borders to you. How are you going to fix it? So sit and think, my dear Jacinta. Go and sit and think, is this the road? Because I'm sure, because I know I'm also an activist. There comes a time when you've unleashed something and you will no longer be in control of it. And this is what is happening. Later on, you will no longer be in control of the thing that you had ignited. And you will later on have to pay the price, because God told me I must tell you, you will pay the price. Because all these people that has died, that has been killed, is because of your action. Maybe you intended it as a good action, or I don't know, maybe there are powers that be behind you. But you will pay the price for the blood of those people are on your hands. You will pay the price for it. You are the leader. I've been in front my whole life. I've also been the one that will speak first, the one that will stand up first. But God given me a mind that I watch what I do, because I know the price you pay. You will not pay that price now, but you will pay it when you least expect it. And remember, you have children. Be very careful. Anything can happen to your children. I don't mean that somebody will do something to them, they can become sick. You know, karma is like that. The person will just become sick. You won't even know how what happened to the child or whatever. Something can happen to you. You can lose your life because you've taken a life. Not physically, but through your actions. And these people that are killing people, karma will come back to you. But this is what I'm trying to tell you. South Africa is now isolating itself from the rest of Africa. And it is causing, in that way, it is helping Africa to be divided. I do not want this. I'm the Queen of Africa. I do not want this. So what I'm telling you now is what God had told me this morning. He showed me Nelson Mandela. And he told me that we must look at Nelson Mandela. Stop looking at Ramaphosa. He is not helping. He's not helping. He's dead meat. He's not doing anything. Because I've seen that his whole attitude is to keep quiet. This is not a president. This is somebody who needs to be dealt with by God. It's all I can tell him. So let us look at Nelson Mandela. Please, my people, let us look at Nelson Mandela, because we do not want Africa to be divided. And these people inciting that I nearly said another word, but anyway, that person who told the white woman yesterday who was living 20 years in South Africa that she is not one of them, but he's killing his black brothers. You are a fool. You are a fool, really. What do you call that? You are not a leader. And these xenophobic leaders, you are not leaders. That is not leadership. That is just vandalism. You are vandalist. You are not a leader. A leader has a mind. A leader has wisdom. A leader has a plan. You do not even have a plan. You just ignited hating the people, and the people that are running around wild, and you will later on not know what to do. They will even turn against you later on if you tell them not to. So now, if you want to do what I'm telling you, find the way of peace, go and sit and look at what you are creating, because this it will go very bad. And I'm telling you, it will turn against you later on. God will punish you. So let us choose the way of peace. And Nelson Mandela, like I was telling you, he was 28 years in Robben Island. He was locked up there. When he came out, he did not choose violence. He chose to forgive those who did that to him, his enemies, not because he was weak, because he knew if he ignited violence in the people, it would destroy the country. That is why he did it.